CBS Sports NFL analyst Bill Cowher is inside Heinz Field. Coach, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, everyone.
Inspiring words for you about how it took you on your journey. Let's talk about tonight's game. How do the Steelers do it without Big Ben?
Well, they got a really good group of players around them, Charlie. I think when you look at this football team, from Antonio Brown to Le'Veon Bell, who they just got back, and a defense that's been playing very well. Now, the challenge they have tonight is they're going against a Baltimore Ravens team that have lost 3 games. They're 0-3. So this is a huge game right now because they both trail a Cincinnati Bengals team that's 3-0. So a big, big game in the AFC North tonight.
Bill, what changes do you think we'll see with Vick?
I think what you're going to see is them do some things that are comfortable. Now, it's a short week for him. That's the unfortunate part of it. But they still have, like I said, a lot of weapons around him. Antonio Brown, I think we could see a lot of Le'Veon Bell in the running game. But I think if you want to throw the ball with Michael Vick, do it on first down. This is a Baltimore defense that's given up a lot of passing plays. But the biggest thing for Michael Vick, I think, is to make sure he's patient with this offense. Let the game come to him. Don't try to do too much too fast.
So we keep hearing that your coach, Mike Tomlin, has a no-crutch rule. What does that mean? If you're on crutches, you can't be on the sideline? And if that's the case, how do you expect Ben to contribute tonight?
Well, I think Ben's going to contribute during the week, and I think the biggest thing for him is he's helping Michael in his preparation. So, you know, I think right now the biggest thing for Ben is to get back and get healthy. And in the meantime, Michael Vick has played a lot of football. He's got a lot of weapons around him. He understands that. He's not going to see anything tonight that he hasn't seen before. But the biggest thing he's going to see is a level of desperation from the Baltimore Ravens that's going to take them to a sense that they must come away with a win somehow, some way tonight. So this will be a very big game. And I got to just tell you, when you look at the back of me, when you get inside the 20-yard line, it is called the red zone. But in Pittsburgh, we call it the ketchup zone because we have 2 ketchup bottles that you will see in the end zone. There you see them. And when you get inside the 20-yard line, they actually drop, and it looks like the ketchup is pouring out. So only in Pittsburgh can we identify the red zone with Heinz ketchup bottles.
There you go.
You described the Ravens as in a desperate position. Desperation, never a good feeling in anything in life. How do you expect them to play tonight?
Oh, I like I said, I know John Harbaugh. They've had these 3 games they've lost. They've been leading in all 3 of these football games. The last 2 in the 4th quarter and 2 last-minute drives have beat them. So, again, it's a football team with Joe Flacco. They've been to Super Bowls. Steve Smith is a big player who's kind of plays with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. They don't have Terrell Suggs. He's been kind of the heart and soul of their defense. They're kind of right now having to transition into a new style of defense without him. But, again, you can throw the records out the window when these 2 teams play. You know, they have a dislike for one another is a kind way of saying it. There'll be a lot of hard hitting tonight. This is a big game for both these teams. Again, trying to stay within reach of the Cincinnati Bengals, who are now 3-0.
Okay, Coach, when you look at the NFL and the AFL, what surprises you most so far?
Well, I mean, I think when you look at all this is some surprising starts in some of these teams. I mean, the New England Patriots, the Denver Broncos look very strong. It's just funny to watch the Denver Broncos and Peyton Manning trying to transition into a new offense. When was the last time we ever talked about Peyton Manning transitioning into an offense? And you look on the NFC side of it, you know, it's still Seattle, Green Bay Packers, what kind of start they've gotten off to. But again, just understand, we talked about journeys. This is a long season, and everybody's going to go through elements of challenges, whether it be through injuries, through tough losses at the end of a game, that you have to kind of persevere. You have to be resilient. And because a lot of times the end part, it's all about the journey that you take from the beginning to the end. We're in October. We've only played 3 games. A lot of football left to be played. The story is unfolding before our eyes.
All right, Coach
Great to see
Cowher.
you.
Yeah.
Listen, I just got to ask you, how did you get through that session when you went back to your school without getting choked up? I got choked up watching you here in the studio. What did that mean to you?
And you know what, Gail? I went back there yesterday when I landed, too. They have a tough game on Friday. But as I told them, you know, they're trying to change a culture. And when you're trying to change a culture, you know, it's a process. And it's challenging. But it can also be very defining as well. And these young boys and Coach Yoder, they're embracing that challenge that lies ahead of them. They're going to find a way to get out of this 17-game losing streak. And when they do, they're going to be something to be very, very proud of. I know I'm proud of them as they continue this march onward.
I know it was good for them to see you. Thank you, Coach Cowher. You can catch the Pittsburgh Steelers
guys.
taking on the Baltimore Ravens tonight on Thursday Night Football. And you can see Coach Cowher again when the coverage begins at 7:30 Eastern right here on CBS.